Somebody writes in to ask if you have read the works of Michael Heiser, and what do you make of his stuff?
Yeah, I've not read all of his stuff, but I've read a good. I've read The Unseen Realm, and he had a popular street level version of the same thing. I've read that, and then the book right after that, I've read that, and overall, I'm favorably impressed. That would be my bottom line assessment. I like what he's doing.
If somebody wanted to start, is the Unseen Realm kind of the...
Yeah, that'd be the starter kit. But I would say with the Unseen Realm, what he's addressing is issues of biblical cosmology, the council of the gods, angels, archangels, demons, and what the literature of the ancient world contributes to our understanding of those things. It's good scholarly stuff, and he's not afraid to say what the Bible says, even if it's not going to be received or applauded by some of the regulars. So I like his contrarian streak, and that doesn't mean I would agree with his take on everything, but I think it's a very helpful way to break modern Christians out of their Enlightenment categories.
Why is it useful to spend time digging into some of the weird? I can imagine somebody saying, "What's the point?" Go back to one of our earlier questions. That's not gospel.
Yeah.
Why do you need to spend time on something like that?
I think you made this comment recently in some conversation about some other thing, but when it comes down to raw conflict with the secular world, and Reformed guys look around and all of a sudden they're surprised to be that the reinforcements that showed up were a bunch of charismatics.
Yeah, right.
And you say, what are you guys doing here? And the charismatics could say something like, "We're used to being weird."
Yeah,
we've been. That's our MO. We know what it's like to be ostracized or to be considered on the periphery.
Yeah.
And oftentimes Reformed Presbyterians don't know what it's like to be weird, because they are sort of tall steeple preachers, and they
seeking
preach
academic respectability, and
they are intellectually they're rigorously educated. They care about theology. The life of the mind matters, and when that happens, you're just 2 steps away from the country club. And once you're in the country club, you don't want to start saying weird things, like, "Hey, what about the sons of God and the daughters of men and the Nephilim?" Hey,
right.
That's not. You're not going to present that at some academic conference,
right?
And the charismatics have been talking about that kind of thing for years. So, Reformed people need to learn how not to be embarrassed by the Bible.
Yeah.
Right? And cosmological issues are a wonderful proving ground for that. All right. Well, does the Bible plainly teach a global flood? Why, yes, it does. Does the Bible plainly teach that there's a council of the gods, Elohim, gods plural? Yes, it does. And then when you start affirming things that the Bible plainly teaches, that's good practice. Those are spiritual push-ups.
Well, and I think the other thing is that if you're not aware of it, then all it takes is one good college prof who opens your eyes to all of these elements in the Bible, and makes you believe that the Bible is just Near Eastern mythology.
Right.
And if you don't have that foundation under you, I think a lot of people get knocked over by it pretty quickly.
Yeah. One other thing I'd add to this, and I've said this in various contexts before, but oftentimes, and reading commentaries and engagement with the text, there are many occasions where the liberal is more to be trusted than the evangelical, because the liberal isn't stuck with the results of his exegesis.
Yeah.
He can say, Job is talking about this and this, and wasn't that silly? Ho, ho, ho. Or, Paul really did teach this, wives should submit to their husband. Isn't that ridiculous? But the evangelical who works for an institution that makes him sign this statement on inerrancy can't do that. So his exegesis has to come up with something that he's comfortable with affirming.
Yeah.
And that means oftentimes evangelicals are more likely to push the teaching of this ancient text into modernist Enlightenment categories than the liberal is.
I remember a Hebrew class at Oxford taught by the chair of Hebrew, an appointment that goes all the way back to Henry VIII. So this is the
Hebrew guy.
the Hebrew dude, and him just laughing. Of course, they thought God created in 6 days. That's what it says here. But he could say that because he also didn't believe any of it
yeah.
was true. But according to the text, it was quite obvious.
Yeah.